Kia ora, and a very warm welcome to Davies Park here in Huntly as we bring you action from the NZRL National Under-20s. As you can see, a bit of an overcast day down in Huntly, but we're looking forward to some fine action today. We've got Waikato Mana up against the Upper Central Stallions. A warm welcome, no doubt, to Mihi, and it's great to have you along here on Sky Sport, and great to have some live rugby league once again here for our young men and women early in the season. Joining me is Wairangi Kōpū. Bit of a home patch for you, Wai.
Tēnā koe Dale, tēnā rā tātou katoa, e ngā mihi o te wā. Yeah, it is indeed. My old stomping ground, Davies Park, and looks like Rex for Hire and the collective that have kept the upkeep of Davies Park haven't got the hose out very often. It's a little bit dry down there, but which could mean a pretty fast track for some good rugby league this afternoon. And
looking forward to seeing how these young guys go. It was forced hand, really. The Upper Central Stallions is a combination of the Hauraki, Gisborne, and also Bay of Plenty and Coastlines communities. And they'll be up against the Waikato squad that really are trying to force their way into being recognised more as their own district rather than in the collaboration of Waikato Bay. Well, let's have a look at the lineup here from the Upper Central Stallions. There's a few good players that we need to keep an eye out for. The captain is Dana Bidwar, comes with some big reputations and also a good leader. He's from Pikiao Warriors down there in Rotorua. Keep an eye out for the Fetu twins as well. At the back is Raven. His brother Jordan will be playing in number 3 today. And they'll be just doing their best out there. It's been quite a tough role trying to pull it all together, what with the COVID challenge and one of distance as well. The coach there is Rob Tangahui. There you go.
Well, Rob, how's preparation gone for the season's opening game?
Pretty, as everyone else in the country, it's up and down. We range from quite a wide space around the area, around Wairiki and coastline, right up to King Country ways. So yeah, pretty not that great, but we've got a good turnout today, a good day today, so we should be fine.
And looking at your team, what does your team need to do well today to get a good result?
First thing is cohesion, just stick together, work together, control their sets, complete the sets, and I think it should be a good day. Just hold the ball and just play footy.
For our viewers, key players to look out for?
Rawiri Matthews, number 12, he's an exceptional player. He's been through the Warriors ranks, and I've got quite a young side that can go again next year. So it's I don't want to point anyone out just in case the boys give me a bit of grief back at training. So Rawiri Matthews will be one to look out for anyway.
Well, all the best this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Cheers. I'd just like to wish all on behalf of under-20s Stallions to fill the theory, a very huge league stalwart of our game back at home. Passed away this morning, so condolences to all, and this is for you. Cheers.
He's a good guy, Rob, and has been working with young players for a long time. He was with the Tauranga Whalers last year, and he's actually mixed a lot with Eugene Davies in the Waikato Bay setup. Here's Waikato Mana, as mentioned, standing on their own mana, and so they've got some fine players in here today. Keep an eye out too for Regan Oldham and the bookend Uruamo Matakohi. Also got young Jarden Watani, is back from Australia as well, played in SG Ball last year for Penrith. He's in jersey number 7. The skipper there as well is Mahaki J. Hitet Waido, and their coach today is Eugene Davies.
Well, Eugene, COVID's disrupted a lot of sport through New Zealand. How difficult has it been to prepare for the game today?
Well, definitely, feeling the effects of that, in terms of player availability to both trainings and then even to selection-wise. So this definitely had an impact. I suppose you just got to work with it though. And so I suppose if you've got the numbers, then people can fill in. And so, you can't sort of just worry about it. Just look at the boys that are turning up and then just work with that. So work with what's in front of you and then you go from there. Yeah.
Looking at your side, what brand of footy are you looking to play today?
Well, obviously the track promotes the idea of expansive game, so we're looking to sort of do a bit of both. And so I think the heat's going to be a factor today. So I think we're going to expect a lot of blowing from the players. So how do we sort of mitigate that and do our interchanges quite wisely is probably going to be a good sort of impact on how we're going to go. So yeah.
Well, good luck this afternoon.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thanks.
Thanks very much.
And Eugene Davies has been really instrumental in mustering together a lot of support for our young players, the 15s, 17s, Waikato Bay, two proud teams here, Waikato Mana, and will be treated to their haka that they perform each time they turn out. You're watching the NZRL National Under-20s. This is Davies Park in Huntly, and action coming to you on Sky. A pleasure to be with you today. Ko Dale Husband Tēnei beside me, Wairangi Kopu. Actually went to school in the Orohe. A number of these players as well from that proud Kurikaupa Parako Mangamanga. This crossover now for our haka. This is the upper central felt. And a wonderful start to Pukotika from the Central Stallions, the Upper Central Stallions, and of course the famous haka from the Rohia or Waikato me Tainui. He rata mihi, kia koutou katoa e homa. Good to have you along here, and great to have coverage of this under-20s competition early in the season, yes, and some disappointment that the Central squad were unable to field a team because of the COVID situation. Viggo Rasmussen is in control of the action today with Matt Watene, Berta Makiha on the side. As you can see, the ground at Davies Park, proud ground that it is, has lacked water as the upper part of the North Island. How's your garden growing?
That's right. It's pretty dry. It's been pretty dry pitch. I'm not much of a gardener myself, but I can feel for a lot of our gardeners out there, and in particular our groundskeepers who are maybe struggling a little bit with the water. But I'm sure Davies Park will, as the season goes on, it usually turns into a mud patch by the end of the year. So you take it nice and hard and dry while it is, and sure these boys will be looking forward to, like Eugene says, some expansive rugby league.
Well, we're about to get underway here. Great to have you along with the NZRL National Under-20s competition coming up over the next few weeks here on Sky Sport. And it is the Upper Central Stallions playing right to left and straight into his work. Travell Gardner-Hunnell, that's him in jersey number 4. Rawiri Matthews in the defensive role also. So, having not played footy for a long time for some of these young guys, and you see the dust rising off the floor as they go to ground anyway, but just want to settle down and get through their sets, work hard to get it right, get a good kick away. It's a dusty old spot at the moment is Uruamo Matakohe, the prop forward goes to ground, and sensibly a kick that goes very deep at the back, where it's taken here by Raven Fatu. Raven from the Forestland Falcons out of Tokoroa. He and his twin brother. He's at the back in one, and his brother Jordan, both musos, I'm told, too, and can sing up a storm.
Solid defence first up from that Upper Central side, but what a kick to get away for Waikato Mana, held up in the end goal. So it's an indication of how far that ball was going to roll if you put it deep into the opposition half. And I'm sure both of these sides are going to look to that as a strategy as the game wears on, because the like you say, this a few of these boys are going to get a little bit tired come the 35-minute mark.
Yeah, well, the interchange bench and its usage is going to be very important here this afternoon. Great to see rugby league back on. And of course, the start of the NRL. We've had 3 fine games. Warriors coming up on Sky later this evening too. Heap of anticipation for what we might see from our home team now based in Australia. But it's great to see crowds back in the stands across there in New South Wales. And looking forward to seeing our home team working well this evening as Rasmussen asks for the ball to be played again. At the back is Te Awa Daniela from the Taniwharo. They played Prems last year too, the fullback. And so when you're playing an under-20s but have already experienced playing against the rugged old cats that appear through the Waikato Rugby League,
yeah,
you know, you'll be well set when you come into under-20s grade.
Yes, yeah, safe to say houses back. These, obviously the fullback for our Taniwharo side, and fine young player. He's still in his last year of school last year, so he's got probably another year in this grade before he has to move up, but he's really starting to excel his game.
Gee, that was a nice run there too from MJ Hetet Wodo. He's put away, but he's still only about 12 metres out from the try line. Taylor Wright goes to acting half through the hands of Watane, and then on out to Hetet Wodo, puts the kick into the in goal, or close to, where it's fielded at the back there, and a desperate take sees the Upper Central Stallions in possession, but a long way to go.
Yes, indeed. The second time now they've been buried down on this end, but getting through their sets well enough, both sides, which is a good sign. Usually there's a little bit of rust for most of the players as they sort of settle themselves into rugby league for the first game, first couple of weeks. Very good contact from both sides as well. See how eager these boys are to start getting back into a rugby league season.
I'm interested in seeing how the prop forward and number 8 for the Stallions goes. John Lees Faulkner is one of the youngest there, was in the New Zealand Māori under-17 squad, featured in the Pacifica Cup tournament under-20s, which was held at North Harbour Stadium a few weeks ago. This carry is from Te Awa Daniela. A number of these players from your old kura, Rako Manga, so they've already played in the secondary schools comp and have some good combinations and cohesion. Up to play the ball, Ramsey Fino. Waikato, though, steaming onto their work too. It's been a good opening session for them. Good defence at the moment from Dana Bidwa. He's a solid defender, hailing from Rotorua. Unexpectedly with the ball here, Uramaru Matakoe. Across the top of the tackle, James Austin in 9 for the Stallions. And that player looks a bit slow to get up onto Hetet Wodo. Pushes the pass out wide and finds Tumatauinga Te Koi. He's wrapped up in the tackle there of Dylan Yakohu Walker. Is the halfback for the Stallions. Once again, a testing kick high, and it's gone deep and over the dead ball line. So a bit of welcome respite for the Stallions. We'll get back to the 20 for a restart.
Yeah, fairly short in goals, Davies Park as well. So you can see straight away, boys looking to put it in the air, put a little bit of pressure on the back three as much as possible. Like I say, a little bit of rust earlier on in the year, so boys will be a little bit nervous, trying to get some confidence out.
Good run here, terrific effort here from Mitchell Windsor. He's streaking away, looks on the inside for a perfect ball to Gardner Hanor. What a great try from the Upper Central Stallions. Hats off, though, to Xavier Mitchell-Windsor. Some brilliant work, individual work, and great support there by the wide-ranging centre who angled back on the inside, Travell Gardner-Hanor. And with the first try of the afternoon after 5 minutes, and it's the Upper Central Stallions who claim first opportunity on the scoreboard and draw first blood here at Davies Park.
What a way to start from deep inside your own half. Great pace, and he's just man one-on-one. And I really thought that the play was going to get shut down there about 20 metres out, but that pass, like you said, Dal, that was perfect. Just slotted in between the two defenders.
There's a good try there from Gardner Hunnell. Comes with some good raps too. They reckon he's a and he's got a decent build. They reckon he plays a little like Steve Matai. And actually he sung the anthem for the Black Ferns in Taupo, that try scorer. So a few singers as well on both sides.
Yep. Multi-talented.
Multi-talented. Yep. Wairangi, it's great to see you too, mate. We haven't sort of crossed paths for a little while. Been no rugby league, but I know you've been busy as a sand boy, so it's good to hook up again.
Indeed, my friend. Yeah, indeed.
Looking a good nick. But I hear that you've had the dreaded lurgy. And that kick wasn't so hot though, and so we'll leave it at 4-0. But a great start here for the Upper Central squad. Really tough for Rob Tangahui to put together a squad. Much of it communicating on phone and on Facebook, and all teams have had the challenge of kids getting COVID. Like yourself, was it a big dose you got, mate, or did you weather the storm pretty well?
I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was, but it turned out to be pretty harsh, especially day 4. But no, yeah, happy to get through it and not have sort of too much sort of lasting damage. And now I'm out and about again. It's feels pretty good. So unfortunately, it's really unavoidable. Like you say, it's disruptive to everybody's workplace environments and sporting events, and it's just sort of the life that we're going to have to live from now on in. But good to see the rugby league back up and running again. Like I said, I understand what you're saying too, Dale, in terms of Rob being a difficult task, getting these boys from different regions and having to deal with COVID situations, and that probably goes for a lot of the teams. It's just an opportunity for some of the other players to step up.
Well, talking with the coaches, I had a bit of a chat yesterday, and they realised too that this is an opportunity to showcase talent. Obviously on Sky Sport, people get to see what's going on in this under-20s comp, but if you're putting together some sort of show reel of your best work, these are invaluable opportunities, as we see Taylor Wright with the opportunity. Now, Waikato will feel a bit stunned having conceded that try by the Stallions as it comes out through Watane. And he's now to ground, about 15 metres out. Lines on the park, not so easy to pick up at times. Little show from Kaya Koraheke. Dangerous here. Number 6 is Hukurangi Sadlier as acting half through Watane. The little loping sort of ball, and then strong carry once again. MJ hit it wide out. And he'll earn a penalty. Gets up to try and high-five the guys who are chastised by referee Rasmussen.
Yeah,
get themselves set.
That was hard. It was the 5th tackle. So pretty expensive for the Upper Central Stallions. It's a real test for them now on the hard against the try line, as we see a little bubble there of the ball.
In the end, it was pretty fine the way that he recovered and held on to the ball. Good work from Lolo Ba'alu. Here's Waikato threatening close to the line as the dust rises from the track here at Davies Park. And the Stallions coming through too early and being asked to back up there. That's John Lees Faulkner. Another penalty here. You get the feeling that Waikato not too far away from posting their first points.
Yeah, and this will be the 3rd set in a row on their line for Upper Central. So Waikato obviously keeping the pressure on.
Some solid D there, and had to be too, because Uruamo Matakohe, no little fella. Beautiful hands on show here from Hetet Waido. Puts it into the end goal. Maybe too heavy once again. Early in the set too, perhaps given another opportunity, you might have rethought how they utilised that set.
Yeah, and I know MJ well as well. Been in the Tani Whare system for a long time, and he's playing actually 6 today. But, that was the 2nd tackle after 3 sets in a row. And it was real poor option from the young man. I'm sure I'll be able to give him a talking to next training session that we have, because He's a big kid, so he just really needs to run the ball if possible.
Yeah, he's come through the grades, hasn't he? Had some time with the Warriors as well. Mahaki J, obviously a talent, very versatile, and is leading this team around well. He's got the captaincy here today. If you've just joined us, you're watching action from the NZRL National Under-20s. It's the first game of what is a 6-week campaign for these teams. And 10 minutes gone, still just the one try. That was scored after 5 by Gardner Hunnell. And what was a good effort, but we've got a player down. There's some concern once again early in the season. And you've got to be mindful of fitness levels.
Yeah, I think as he went to ground, I think he fell on top of one of the upper central zone, like the guy who was playing the ball. I think he fell on top of his knee, which is why they're pulling his knees into his chest, because he's obviously wounded.
So there it is. The crowd filled. We're just getting another look at the injury and how it came to be. But concern immediately. I've watched some great games on this park over the years. You would have too. I remember a test match when I was a kid. It's a long time ago. Bobby Fulton playing for Australia. Maybe it might have been against New Zealand Māori, as we're just seeing both teams retreating somewhat. And he's finally to his feet. Big Caleb.
Yeah, there's been some epic battles at Davies Park. Like I said, iconic rugby league field in Huntley.
So just talking of the injured player, he too from Taniwhānau. He's still just 18, and he missed out on the 18 squad, which was chosen. This is a nice run. But Coach Eugene Davies saw something in Caleb and elevated him here to the 20s. This is another good opportunity here for the Stallions, and probing once again is Mitchell Windsor. He was New Zealand standoff of the year for the under-20s last season. Mitchell Windsor, so obviously a kid with big talent. There's a charging run here from John Lees Faulkner, who's put his hand up. He's had some pretty good efforts. The 9 works across to the right-hand side, and here come the Stallions threatening again, threading the needle. And that ball has gone dead. Was it taken dead by Waikato? It was, and so they'll restart under the crossbar.
Great pressure from Upper Central. Great pressure. Good quick play of the balls. There was some good running there. I think it was Faulkner who was the prop forward who hit the ball up and got a real good quick play of the ball for his dummy half and gave his half plenty of time to be able to put that kick in.
So Waikato, if they thought they were going to have it their own way, because in a way they were forced their hand, the Upper Central Stallions, Hauraki, Gisborne, Coastlines, and of course Bay of Plenty. But gee, they've been going Austin with the ball and feeds it out to the right-hand side as they set themselves for another attack on the far side of the field. That ball sadly has gone down. Jackson Tufala couldn't handle, and so Waikato will get the ball.
Yeah, well, that was unfortunate because that pass was on and the line was open on that side. It was good quick ball movement from Central. It was just unfortunate it went just behind him, that pass, and he couldn't pull it back in. Good pressure release there for Waikato, who have been under the pump.
So 13 gone, still the one try. Waikato feeding the scrum, about 10 out from their own line. They'll be needing the ball and controlling it. It's fed here by Hete Tuairo, the skipper. Good defensive work down low from Ngākuhu Walker. And of course the talented Gardner Hunnell have been seeing quite a bit of this time. Waikato have the ball. James Austin's been working hard too. He's a nippy guy from the Tauranga Whalers.
Ow.
Another versatile player as the hooker for the Stallions. That ball's gone to ground. Play on. It's into the hands here of Kaunu Watson Toto. So they're really sticking with him as Dana Bidwar gets hold of the ball and he's muscled to ground here by Regan Oldham. Once again, the big number 8 has a dig and he's looking pretty comfortable out there, to his feet quickly. I'll have a look down the left-hand side and there's the little show again, keeping them on their toes, Mitchell Windsor.
Really nice play. just gave himself an opportunity to get a little bit more yards, ask the questions of the Waikato Mana defence.
Wright and Watanabe working hard on D here for Waikato Mana. Through the back, it's Bidwar and onto 4. Yeah, he's playing strong at the moment. John Lees put away into the tackle of Lola Paulu. Now to the right-hand side they come. The back rower keeps it going, and then the cut-out ball over the top creates a space back on the inside, and it's Waikato who come up with the ball. And the number 3, Tumatanga Tekoi, is the man who comes up with it.
Sorry, probably maybe a little bit unlucky there, Waikato. It says that the referee Vigo has ruled that the ball was played out and knocked on by Waikato Mana. Some more pressure coming their way. Here's the replay here, back on the inside. Yeah, it's probably fair enough too.
Well, there's certainly a Waikato hand in there that touched the ball, no doubt about that. So the Stallions are still well set here. Through the hands, it comes to Mitchell Windsor. He's still got it, and Windsor is grassed here and pummeled into the Davies Park turf. Dummy half work for Austin. To the right-hand side, he finds Bidwar. Bidwar on the power run. Spun around just a metre or so away from the try line. Here's an opportunity for Austin. He senses there's a chance. And then he's buried just a few millimetres from the try line. So the Stallions, early in the tackle count. Big man has a charge for the line. This is Rewiti Brown. To his feet. Austin, that ball's gone nowhere. This could bounce kindly for Waikato. In the end, a bit of a survival effort. And it's Mitchell Windsor. He seals the ball, seals the deal. Let's go in and check what the ref has to say
a
here.
little bit too early, by the sounds of things. A little bit too early off the mark, so once again, good defence by Waikato. Yeah, definitely. It was about 2 metres in front by the time that ball cleared the rock. So
the hard charging Brown once again winds it up. Played the under-20s last year and he's back from a broken foot, but gee, he looks like he's intent on showing his skills here this afternoon. Davies Huntley, round 1 of the under-20s. Nice little dummy as well, then straightened and popping the ball back, but it's Waikato who come away with it. Bailey Muhi Little thought that there was another opportunity, but there's another knock on here. And the Stallions be fancying their chances from close range in this set.
yeah, again, another scrum. Central must have just bobbled that ball as he fell on top of it. That's Ronell. So another tester here for Waikato, and if they do manage to repel this set, could give them a lot of confidence in their defence, Waikato.
Mitchell Windsor finds Raven Fetu, puts the fend on Fetu, good ball. Oh, I thought for a moment he was going to get it to Travell.
See the touch judge. The touch judge
indication.
ruled. Yep, there was a bit of a knock on there from Central. So yeah, good effort defensively from Waikato. They asked plenty of questions to Upper Central, which couldn't come up with an answer.
Remember, 35-minute halves here. And the Stallions have really been dominant in the last 6 or 7 minutes. After sailing close to the wind a couple of times when Waikato were able to get right down the other end of the park, but they've been under some pressure at the moment, Waikato Mana and to Toa Daniela. They'll be looking for some good forward work and exchanges. On in 15's Brooklyn Rowley. From Tauranga, a number of the players here have played with Rob Tangahoe. In fact, he and Eugene Davies work very closely together in the development of guys through that Waikato Bay structure. So they know a lot of these players very well. And they've coached many, both coaches on show today. They've coached many of these young guys in various guises. Well, that was a bit of a risky pass, but then a beautiful And strong carry here. Away goes Jericho York. He's got a runner on his inside that he doesn't pick up. He needs to look for support here. This is still Jericho. Throws to dummy.
Wow.
Go Jericho, go. And it's through to Travell, who's in to score a brilliant try. Travell Gardner. Hunnell profiting from a run that we haven't seen for a long time from Jericho York. Brilliant.
Yes, indeed. And like I said, that could have been anybody's try, that one. The long ball that found York. And he just did it on himself. He's a big winger. As he started accelerating, I thought to myself, geez, he's going to be hard to stop. He probably could have gone all the way by himself, but unselfishly offloads to Gardner Hunnell, and he picks up his kick. This fantastic long-range effort again by Upper Central.
Just what a run there. I thought it was a risky ball to him anyway, but he come up trumps, and then away goes Jericho. He's out of for Te Puke. Jericho York, part of the 18s last year, from Rotorua Boys High School also. So obviously he's got some skill in both codes, and that looked awesome, that run there today. Well, here's a chance for Ngakohu Walker to put the icing on the cake. 2 tries to Gardner Hunnell. The chance to kick it out to double-figure lead here. It's been a great start here from the Stallions. Just pausing here, as you can see, an overcast day. Ball kicker, and his kicking boots have been left at home. They really could have done with the extra 4 points. It's 8-0.
Must be the tee. I think the tee's crooked. So, yeah. Well, it was big, good confidence builders for Upper Central. On the other hand, they're having no trouble in defending their try line when they're up against it, but defending other 80 metres of the Davies Park is proving a little bit difficult.
Bit of a change here. Hello, Pealu is gone to the bench to put a marsh on for Waikato. But that was a long-range try. Big ups as well to Travell. As it's Mana who kicked deep. Playing from the northern end of Davies Park. The Central Stallions, or the Upper Central Stallions. Little show and show.
Oh, well. Mitchell Windsor holds the ball well in 2 hands. He's got run around him, just gives him an opportunity to size up the situation on the defensive line in front of him. And also means Waikato Mana side, they can't really engage without him. Great bump.
This is another strong carry again. It's Rewati Brown who's been really instrumental in getting things rolling. Braden Hathaway, danger times here for Waikato Mana. There's the man who's been a thorn on their side. There, Travell Gardner Hunnell, and almost picks up number 3.
He's very lucky he stood on the touch line, because had he not stood on the touchline, that would have been another try at Upper Central. Bit of an experience there shown by the winger. He's just tossing the ball up in the air as he collected it. It's all over the place, but there it is.
So here's the scrum feed here for Xavier Mitchell-Windsor. And danger time here for Waikato, because the Stallions' confidence levels are sky high at the moment. They very nearly scored try number 3. The flying winger with his back to us there in jersey number 4, Travell. Mitchell-Windsor with a chance. He'll push it away, peeling off the back is the back rower and captain Bidwa. Nice run here from the half-back. So close this time, Ngakohu Walker. Hathaway with the ball, and then the unit comes charging towards the line, and he's strong too, Brooklyn Rowley. Hathaway looking to the left, pushes it out, the cut-out ball top. It was on the ankles, would have been a wonderful pickup, but unfortunately for the Stallions, they put that one to ground, and sigh of relief here from Waikato Mana, who've been under the pump for the 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was a poor pass, maybe just a little from Ngākohu Walker. He wasn't too sure who was going to hit there, which meant that ball didn't find the mark. But yeah, Waikato will breathe a sigh of relief there. The upper central forwards, I mean, I know that the backs have set up all the tries so far, but the forwards are doing a fantastic job of really wearing down the middle of the Waikato Mana side.
Jardin Watine just arrived back from Oz last week because the restrictions obviously were lifted with Penrith last year in their lower grades. But actually came through Kibra Park High School too and played alongside Reece Walsh during his career. I think they're the same age, Watine and Walsh, to get plenty of ball. Steer the team around the park. Taylor Wright has it here for Waikato Mana. Getting out to the right-hand side, and it's the downtown effort here from Hettit Waido. Taken confidently the back by Fetu.
The upper central Stallions just growing in confidence as this game goes on. Like I said, this is the first bit of football that these boys have played for a while now at this level of competition, and it's fantastic to see that after 25 minutes they're really starting to find some rhythm.
Down the right-hand side, this time it's Jordan Fetu with a lovely ball runner on the inside here, the big number 11. This is classy work and a great finish for Mohi Little, who comes around to score try number 3 for the Stallions, and they are really setting this game alight with some brilliant efforts from out wide in the hard-ranging second row, powering up the middle. And he scores a wonderful try here for the Stallions, out to 12 with a kick to come.
Yeah, well, he'll be happy, Mohi Little, because he was the guy who dropped the ball as they tried to attack Waikato Mana's line just a few minutes ago. So coming up with this try will be fantastic. Like I say, they have no trouble in defending their Mana. It's the rest of the field that they're having a little bit of trouble. This was a great ball here from Fetu out to his winger. And, got some pace at the back row. Managed to catch up to his winger and get the ball back on the inside. There was nobody there for Waikato. Scores under the post, and it's a good buffer so far with if my maths is right, 8 minutes to go.
Yes, you got school C maths. I don't even know if they call it school C anyway. Hey, big ups to our viewers down in Tokoroa as we acknowledge that's where Mohi Little hails from, Bailey. But, geez, turned out some good footballers in the last little while, hasn't it? The Timber Town of NZ.
Yep. Not just rugby league, but also rugby players as well. Actually, just athletes and sports people in general. There's some fantastic names that come out of Tokoroa.
Te Ravana's out of there, isn't he?
Yes.
Zane, I think. And, of course, the centre out of the Roosters is just in top form, isn't he? He's playing such great footy. There he is, Bailey. And he did the right thing, didn't he? He sensed there was an opportunity down the edges, and he just travelled the fat man's line and stayed on the inside there. I'm not calling him a fat man either. I'm just saying the big guys need to stay in the middle and do just what he did to finish. So 14-0. To be honest, while I thought that Waikato would have come in as favourites here today, because of the disjointed preparation that the upper Central Stallions have been forced to accommodate.
I think they would have probably thought that themselves coming into this game. Yeah, like you say, having to sort of pull together, albeit a lot of these boys, not a lot of them, some of these boys were together last year in a successful campaign that they had against Auckland Blues. So, they're confident that they can play at this level. There is some really big boys there, and there's a lot of talent across the park. So at the moment, they're playing really well as individuals, but they're playing really well as a team as well.
So the back rower peels away and picks up Daniela. Nice little ball. This is to Watine. Great D. Put on from Gardner Hanor. Jardin. 6 or 8 metres out from the try line. Danger times here for the Stallions as Waikato looking to force their way across the line and onto the scoreboard. That'll be half work for Taihei Kyle. The big number 17 has charged to Portia Marsh. In fact, able to get there on his own. And so hats off to him. The Stallions don't agree, but the referee called it good. And Te Portia Marsh gets one back out of the Taniwhānau club.
Yeah, pretty fresh out of high school too, Te Portia Marsh. I think he comes from Te Aomutu. Played a game last year for the Premiers at a ripe age of 17 or 18. So he's got some talent, Te Portia Marsh. He's like most of these boys, he's pretty keen to have a good go at rugby league. And he's put on some size too in the year because we had him playing on the wing.
Okay.
So yeah, no, he was he's looking good. Maybe thinking about staying in the forwards is more of a permanent role for him.
Well, good to see you two putting back into the rohe that was so proud of your rise into the NRL ranks, Wairangi. We're just looking for this conversion from close range and no problem. So 14-6. Yeah, so this year, last year, sorry, you've been working back with Taniwhānau. What's your role been?
I went back last year to just assist a little bit with some skills and training and help the boys along a little bit. Ended up playing most of the season.
Did you? Yeah.
Which was fun. It was fun. The body definitely doesn't recover as well as it used to when I was in my 20s.
Surely.
But it was great having to run around again. It was been 24 years, I think, since I had played Premiers for Taniwhānau. So it was good to see some of the old faces and play along some of the kids who were literally kids when I was at school and when I was back there. But yeah, just once again there this year again, helping out a little bit in terms of skills and conditioning and offering a little bit different for the club and hoping that they can. They've got a proud history within the Waikato competition, as all those teams have. But hoping that some of them can grow from that competition, especially some of these younger ones like Te Awa and Mahaki J, and maybe pursue other higher levels, higher competitions, elite competitions. So.
Yeah, some a recognition of their commitment to taha Māori as well. A number of these guys, really talented speakers of our reo, great ambassadors for sport, but also for the proud community of hunting. You might play more into senior ranks longer than Rohiki. Paul Rohiki is going around at 4, I think he was, something like that.
Yeah.
How old are you now, Wayne?
I'm coming up 42.
So you'll be having a run again this year coming up?
I'm gonna have a try.
You look pretty fit, mate. You look pretty fit.
Well, my good mate Mara and Haggy, who plays for Marawaia, we played together as schoolboys as well. So he's still running around. He's the same age as me. And so last year we both said to each other, well, if you go again, I've got to go again. One of us has got to finish first.
Good on you both. And he's an awesome ambassador too for Waikato Rugby League. Here's Waikato now. And again, like seeing the hooves of horses each time they hit the ground. What a big hit that was too on Portman Paul. Absolutely barreled. This is heating up here as we come to the back end. Jordan Martin try to thread the needle with some skillful sidestepping. He's to ground a couple of metres away from the try line. Danger times here for the Stallions. They decide to change the point of the attack. Might be Ahu gets it out. It's Waikato, and he's very strong, but pulled down just a couple of metres from the try line. Here's an opportunity for the Stallions to get the ball, and in the end, it's the Waikato Mana who get the penalty.
Yeah, a little unlucky up Central there. Obviously, the defender was just in the way of the play of the ball, so the dummy half couldn't get in there and pick the ball up. So it had to be a penalty in the end, but doing a great job of defending.
Heads it right up. Now it's on for Watane. He's got a good turn of speed, a lot nicely weighted pass. And that scooped on. And Fitu gets hold of it long range. They're dangerous here as we see Jericho York once again with the carry. And it's a dummy half work now for Gardner Hano.
Hold his line there, if you know, on the right side. His centre did all the work in drawing in the just a load that little ball out to the right hand side, and he would have crossed over in the corner
So the downtown, looking at the clock at Davies Park, 35 minutes, and wanting to protect their lead. 3 tries to 1. And here's going to be try as well, back on the inside. Brilliant play, and what a finish here for the skipper, Dana Bidwa. But again, pay credit to Gardner Hanua, just never gave up. And just before the break, it's try number 4 for the Stallions.
Yeah, it was a horrible bounce, like a golf shot. He just rolled that back towards his own chases, which was fantastic in the end. But Fino just needed a little bit more urgency.
Well, there's the hooter in the background. That's been an entertaining first half of footy. We've still got the conversion to come. And the kicking boots haven't exactly great in the opportunities that the halfback has had. Perhaps he'll surprise us this time around and slot it. But a great first half effort. And the coach there, Rob Tangohui, is going to absolutely be wrapped with the way these guys have come together. Only travelled across Huntley today, left homes at 9, some of them from Rotorua and some from Tauranga. But gee, they've combined really well. And as they retire to the sheds, recognising that they've played out of their skin, Gardner Hunnell has been everywhere today. What a great effort he's put in. And talking about what a strong player he is. And he might have strength, but he's also got agility and he's got foresight too, because he has been there to back up plays. As we look at the extras, 14 is now 18-6. This time looking to raise the still away. It will stay there. Half time here in the first half of the NZRL National Under-20s from Davies Park and Huntley. And it is the Upper Central Stallions who lead Waikato Mana 18-6. We'll be back in a moment to have a look at those first half tries.
Here we go. Well, there are whistles, there are cheers, there are screams. Oh my goodness. Look at them go. We love this game.
ANZ Premiership Netball starts Sunday with Magic, Mystics, followed by Tactics Steel. Live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage brought to you by ANZ.
Join me, Brian Cox.
In Universe starts Sunday, March 13 on BBC Earth.
And my thought is, why can't one be a gentleman and a pirate? We're swashbuckling. Let's have fun with it.
Thursday, the premiere of Our Flag Means Death. Prime.
Yes, she's there. Sky Super Rugby Opiki. Live on Sky Sport.
The IndyCar Series is heating up as the fastest drivers in the world look to push the limit in No Limit, Texas.
Scott McLaughlin, he's now an IndyCar race winner.
Oh boy, thank you so much.
Scott Dixon wins back-to-back years and wins at Texas.
Yes.
Oh boy, Award. Pato Award is an IndyCar winner.
Who will take the first oval victory this season? The IndyCar Series, Texas, live on Sky Sport.
I want to build something special, but I need a partner.
Los Angeles Lakers select Magic Johnson.
With me, it's going to be exciting.
I don't know why basketball can't feel like that.
To me, Dr. Bus,
it's showtime.
It do.
Lexus presents Winning Time, Tuesday, Soho.
For Sky TV customers, our lightning-fast Wi-Fi is from only $79 a month. Don't touch that. That's like paying for a chicken and getting a bald eagle.
I like it.
There's not much food left as it is. You saying you're more important than everyone else here?
Crisis below.
That thing is called a giant ground slot.
Crisis above.
There is someone I know. There's no pilot I trust more. You bring my family home.
You got my word.
Danger all around.
What do you see, Captain?
Sunday, all new La Brea. Prime.
Hoping that we live long enough to say we fly. Crushing all the walls, leaving what is wrong behind. 'Cause all we got is each other. Shoot to the stars.
The road to Qatar is on Sky Sports 7, beIN Sports.
Is this the half-time stuff, Dino? Kia ora noa, welcome back, Davies Park. As you can see, it's a dry field, but it certainly hasn't been dry action. There's been plenty to enjoy here, and the attitude, particularly, that the Upper Central Stallions have brought to the mix today. Obviously, there are restrictions on numbers as we are witnessing as well right across the country, but it's just great to see these young guys with an opportunity to strut their stuff out on the stage, or in this sense, out of the field at Huntly. Great to have you along too. It's a big day of rugby league, of course, here on Sky, and we've got the Warriors coming in tonight. We'll talk of that too later in the broadcast. Well, let's have a look at how the tries came to be. This was after 6 minutes, and it was a fantastic run here. Brilliant by the number 5, Jericho York, and he just kept charging away. And as you can see, looming up beside him is Gardner Hunnell. That might have been the second try, as we see another look back up on the inside. This is the skipper as well, Dana Bidwar, and another powerful effort here from Rewiti Brown. Look at the run that Brown puts together, and then it was in the 20th minute that we saw Gardner Hunnell again with across to the right-hand side. Some fine work down the right edge. Brilliant run. And back up on the inside here.
Yeah, this was Mohi Little.
Oh, Little's try. Yeah, that was a goodie, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is the third try of the Upper Central. Another long-range one, and this was the last one, just the final minute of the second half, which is the fourth try for Upper Central. Back on the inside there, it was fantastic. And then this was the only Waikato try through the. Oh, sorry, that was the drop ball. The only try that for the Waikato Mana side came in the way of Te Pōria Marsh in about the 30th minute. So a bit of work to do for Waikato.
This ground, of course, proud ground, seen many great games over the years on the eastern side of the main drag there at Huntly. At half-time, as you can see, it's 18-6, and we'll be back with the action, second half action for you here. We'll take a break, and we'll have kick-off for the second half here in the National Under-20s. That's coming up shortly.
Their dream, a collision of risk and passion, grit and precision, the epitome of play hard, sacrifice and heart. Try and conquer, their bodies a buffer, the block you can't get past, because when that final siren blasts, their clock's still running. Your fear keeps their fire burning. They put the pride in power, force in fierce, make the real unreal, and the league theirs.
Sky Sport has the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. Sunday, live on Sky Sport 3.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man, we started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
There are others out there. We need to send them back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know a couple of magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Please, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
Look, there has to be another way!
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
You're not gonna take this away from me. Peter. You're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
La Liga, live all season long, Sky Sports 7 BN Sports.
Kia ora, welcome back. This is Davies Park in Huntly, and this is the action from the NZRL National Under-20s, 18-6 scoreline, and it's the Stallions, I guess some might say surprisingly, in the lead with 4 tries to 1. Waikato with the kick-off, and I'm sure that these boys have been mustered in from the Bay of Plenty, from Hauraki, from coastlines, will be keen to consolidate where they're at the moment. Some strong work also once again here from Waikato, and their number 23, MJ hits it to Wodo. He's had a really strong game, and it will be up to he's the captain here this afternoon. He'll be wanting to lead from the front, showing Ghosties, Dana Bidwar, also the skipper for the Stallions, get the ball to the 40-metre line, and then with a sensible kick downfield, that's where they want to play against Waikato, and it rolls into touch scrum, well inside enemy territory as far as the Stallions are concerned.
Yeah, you can see the intention from Waikato straight away. I'm sure Eugene would have been telling his men to try and get in there and lift the aggression, put some pressure on some of those big boys who are paving the way for Upper Central. But it's fantastic to get that set off the ground for Upper Central's side. Just get that first one out under the belt, weather a little bit of the storm, and maybe start some storms of their own.
So up with the ball is Angus Boom Harris. Waikato, the probing run, comes a cropper. The tackle there of Jordan Fetu. Taylor Wright with a carry this time around out of the Tūranga Waiwai club. And a bit of a union background, but Coach Davies says that he's very coachable. And at Hamilton Boys High School as well, Taylor Wright. The second rower for Waikato, and a bit of a mistake there. Harrigan Radovanovic. He couldn't quite control, a bit of a sizable dude too, young Harry.
Radovanovic, he got up and he just sort of went on with the wrestle a little bit too much. He ended up pushing one of the players that was on the ground and ultimately ended up knocking on the ball. So it's just a little tip there for some of our young and inexperienced players. Just get up and play the ball as quick as you can. Don't worry about any other mess.
This is Dylan Ngakuhu Walker, who gets a nice ball onto Jordan Fetu. Good straight, direct run, but earning a penalty as well. It's an interesting character, Dylan. That's the number 7 here for Upper Central. He's actually been running podcasts and the like since he was about 17. Bit of an entrepreneur as well. He's out of the Piki Warriors, Ngākohu Walker. He's got a clothing label of his own called Highway 35. So now the Stallions wanted to stay on top here. Took them 6 minutes to score in that first half. 4 tries to 1 and a decent lead, but that needs to be protected as Braden Hathaway looks for a runner, gets himself in as acting hard once again. That's him in between. Peels it across to the left-hand side, finds the back rower and skipper, who in turn picks up Ngākohu Walker. This time around it's Mitchell Windsor, and Xavier is corralled and then put away. And a 3-man tackle, 8 or 9 metres out from the try line. Rewati Brown gets the inside ball and picks up Raven Fish on the boil. Dummy half work for Dana Bidwell, the skipper out to the left-hand side and still alive. And that ball has been put dead. And the restart once again, putting some pressure on Waikato Mana. Well, the referee will go over and consult with his touch judge. I'm sure that referee Viggo Rasmussen thought that it was Waikato who put it dead. And that's what's going on over there. In shot at the moment, the big number 10, to Portia Marsh. And it'll be the restart here. That's how it plays out. So, Stallions with a big opportunity as the bounce comes up for Ngākohu Walker. Turns it back on the inside now, and the big men start to get them roll on here. Back rower is Bidwa. Hathaway. Ngākohu Walker. Inside for Brown. Popped ball. Beautiful passing, but the referee said that there's a ball that has gone forward. And we'll ask Brooklyn Rowley to come on back. And the scrum here, Waikato will be relieved too because they'll get the scrum feed.
Yes, indeed. They were starting to show some raggy signs there, Waikato Mana around the inside. They just haven't had a lot of things go their way. They tried just before half-time. Terrible bounce of the ball for Fino.
They're certainly up against some big units here in the Stallions squad as Watanet put away by Rawiri Matthews. Slow to his feet this time around Jardin. The defensive effort and commitment has been very impressive here. As Taylor Wright gets to his feet, Kaya Koroheke looking for some runners. Some big defensive work in there from Hamiora Baker Tainga Hue. And just inside enemy territory at the moment, Waikato with a big 25 Portman Paul, the scaffolder, getting a drop-off ball back on the inside. This time it's Tumatauinga Te Koi. Bidwa downstairs with the defensive work. Kyle Koroheke now to the right-hand side and hit Waido. Looking to try and pick it up to the number 1, Tawa Daniela. Comes through, but it's a knock on there. So the Stallions get the scrum feed.
Yeah, one play in particular, I'd like to see a little bit more of his Tumatauinga Te Koi. We saw him have that run back on the inside just before, but he is a prominent player, albeit he's young, a prominent player for too long a while. Been successful the last 2 years in that Waikato competition. He's a really strong centre. I think he needs to get his hands on the ball a little bit more. Really help out this team because he's a devastating runner when he's on hand.
That's what they need to find, and down the hole, and it's taken through from Mitchell Windsor. He's got plenty of speed, Mitchell Windsor, and he has been a class act here this afternoon, and he's in for try number 5. He might have injured himself as he goes to ground there too. But what a run from Mitchell Windsor. He's just been absolutely outstanding. But of course he was the New Zealand standout of the year last year, and just look at him streak away here.
Yeah, lovely step, and then a good palm to the chest of the number 8 for the Waikato side, which was Regan Oldham. And he just had too much pace for the big prop forward he was trying to cover across. Tawa Daniela, he was busy back up the middle there off the scrum, so there was no one at the back. Mitchell Windsor, yeah, he's having a fantastic game.
Yeah, he can pick a gap. He's got great acceleration. And once he was away, no one was going to catch him. It's quite brilliant. Well, they're going to stay with the kicker. He's had a bit of a shocker so far today. Let's hope that young Dylan Ngakuhu Walker will be able to get the 2 points up here today. He converted one of the 4 tries scored in that first half. Let's see if he does a little better here at the start of the game. But the Upper Central Stallions are really a statement here this afternoon. And this time the flags are raised. And they'll be pretty chuffed with the way that they've gone. And so with their coach too, Rob Tungahoe. He's really supportive of young guys. Talks a lot about their abilities, and he's wanted to acknowledge the NZRL for staging this competition, and the way it's just helpful for the club scenes that they all represent out of their regions, and he's committed to growing good men, not just rugby league players. So hats off. There's a bit of a change there at the moment. And 24-6. It's going to take a really big effort here from Waikato if they're going to turn this one around. But in order to do that, they need the football. That's what they'll be wanting to do initially. Let's see a little bit more commitment from their defensive work. Downstairs, it's Callum Swanell and it's by Watane and the 17, Marsh. In defensive work, staring back up on the inside again. Ngakuhu Walker getting the best out of his runners. This time it's Rowley to his feet. Little halfback shows that he is the danger man without doubt. Mitchell Windsor. That game, very quiet sort of a character, I'm told, in camp. But he lets his skills show once he gets out onto the track, as we've seen so far here this afternoon. So, again, it's the Stallions making more inroads into Waikato. Jericho York, big winger. And here's the kick. Some pressure. It's taken in the end goal. So the restart here, 20 metres out, Waikato Mana.
Yeah, needed that. Needed a 7 tackle set as well. As Waikato, as we see them trying to get back on side. Once again, really good set from Upper Central. Got some really good boys. Really good big runs.
So Waikato have got Meli Lola Pe'aulu. Has got back into the mix. Harrigan Radovavic makes his way to the side for Waikato. And now a direct run. In fact, that is Radovavic is still there, I think. My apologies, it is. The big number 8 gets a carry this time, and that's Regan Oldham. But the defence is solid here at the moment. Rowley's getting himself into the mix. Good direct run. That ball is brilliant. And it's into the 9, Kaya Koraheke. He too wants to get the offload, and that's delivered. Comes to Mai Ahu. He's thrown to the ground. In fact, it's an intercept. And picking up the ball is Jordan Fetu. And a penalty goes the way of the Stallions as well.
Well, what a passage of play. It's great effort. It's from the Waikato Mana. They really need to start to find some holes, and this was a great ball back up. Mahaki J, another offload there, and then just snatched.
Yeah, well, they've been good, haven't they? The twins today, Jordan and Raven Fetu. Back on the inside come this time the carry from Mohi Little, try scorer. 26 minutes into that first half. Work for Fetu. Impressive with his willingness to cut and take the hard yards or make the hard yards, but this time when he looks for an offload, and there is Tumataunga Takoi who upsets the run of play, and it's now Waikato Mana who have it through to Portia Marsh. Yeah, just lacking a little bit of cohesion. It's early in the season too, so that's somewhat understandable, but they're going to get themselves back in with a chance. They really do need to score next. It's the big number 8. Some solid D on show here too. Gee, he works hard, doesn't he, Dana Bidwar? Not the tallest of back rowers. He's certainly got great technique and gets himself involved there again with assistance from Braden Hathaway. But deemed to have been a high shot. Kyle Koraheke takes a tap and goes himself. Hathaway puts him away right in front of the post, 15 metres out from the try line. Lola Pa'alu gets the ball to the fullback, Daniela, and he's pulled down again. It is Bidwell with assistance across the top from Faulkner. Right side, and surely Waikato Mana would fancy their chances from close range. Well, that is 5 tries to 1 here, and a pretty gutsy performance. Here's some hot stepping coming in from Jarden Watane. He was good. We always knew that he had this ability. Maybe it just as he went to put the ball down. So he'd done all the hard work, and then right at the last moment, the ball is dislodged, and so he comes up empty-handed.
Yeah, good footwork. Watane, couple of right foot steps and wrong-footed. Everybody found the gap back up on the inside, but as he went to dive for the line, just the pressure from upper central have knocked that ball out of his hands. Very unlucky, because that would have been right under the sticks, and that would have made it 12-24. Would have made it a little bit more interesting.
Certainly. But at the moment, what we're seeing is a whole lot of commitment here from the upper central stallion. Heading off the bat, they just need to settle this one down too. And it's Fetu.
Just the intent in the run is the biggest difference between two teams at the moment. The likes of the wingers and the back rowers, and the forwards in particular as well, who are bringing that ball back. They're just running it with such pace. And it makes it very, very difficult for Waikato Mana to hold them back or even repel them from long distance. So it's the really biggest differences at the moment.
This is Hamiora Baker, who is the young fella of the coach Rob. Came at late notice as we see John Lee's Faulkner with a beautiful ball here onto Keanu Watson. Dodo, he is strong and powerful and takes it all the way. What a great try, and the two bookies, your front row forwards combining magnificently. Central Stallions do it again.
Yeah, well, just on the back of that, there is no substitute for running hard. No substitute at all for running hard. And just two props playing together like that is fantastic to see. Some good ball work between two big, like you said. A great angle there from Watson Toto. They come up with another try. Might have picked up a cork on his way through.
Yeah, big Kanu, originally from the Manawatu, solid. And, of course, with the Tauranga Whalers now, that was a great effort. And he combined beautifully as well with John Lee's Faulkner, who, as I mentioned, is one of the youngest in this squad. But he's been playing strong. He's played in the Waikato Bay scene for a while, John Lee's. And also great to see him in that Māori squad under 20s 3 or 4 weeks ago at North Harbour Stadium. The clouds are gathering here in Huntly, but the clouds are also gathering on top of the effort of the Waikato Mana, who find themselves now down yet another try, 28-6. Could make it out to 30 here, is looking for the extras, and that's duly delivered. Michael Walker. Brilliant effort from Rob and his squad here. Fantastic.
Must have unpacked those kicking boots at half time and swapped them over.
Must have. You're looking forward to tonight's game as well. Of course, you're getting the action on Sky. The NRL is back, and back with a big splash, really. It's great to see all the big crowds in Sydney returning. I see Brisbane won last night, you know.
Also, I mean, fantastic, considering how much rain that they've had over both states and Queensland and New South Wales over the last couple of weeks. Fantastic to see some good dry football, especially on Thursday. The game with the Penrith Panthers versus the Manly Sea Eagles was breakneck speed. So looking forward to some real good quality rugby league in the NRL through the first round and over the season.
Yeah, an important one tonight. Of course, the action coming to you on Sky. You'll find all the NRL throughout season 2022.
Yeah, of course, the Warriors take on the Dragons, who picked up the Charity Shield as well last weekend. So they'll be pretty confident, the Dragons, to carry on that form through the first round. But of course, it's the Warriors and it's our year this year. It's just mathematics.
Well, I've been saying it for 26 seasons now, so one year you hope to get right, don't you, Wairangi?
Surely, if I keep buying lottery tickets, eventually I must gonna. It's just maths.
Pretty sloppy play the ball there, but it's okay. Downtown they come. So at the back here, Waikato will be wanting to score a try. This is something of a little embarrassing scoreline in a way. It is early in the season. They've been trying hard, but just tell you what, the Stallions have had their measure here this afternoon.
Yeah, like you say, Dale, not through effort. Waikato, considering, it's the first game of the year. The cohesion hasn't really been there for either team. But individually, the Upper Central Stallions, they just run harder. There's more intent. There's better contact in the defense. And it's been really hard for Waikato to really break that line.
Well, they're trying, aren't they? MJ hits it wide over this time. And they're working their interchange regularly here. Upper Central, 17 on, 10 off. So the rotation here that's been utilised by Robbie Tangahui has proven to be a successful formula. You hear the rattle of the freight trains rolling through. Just, it's only really 100 metres or so away from this park.
Full of coal too.
Full of coal. Power that coal mine. I remember suggesting to Tawada Nico that someone put a statue up of him made of coal. There's nothing to do with his tonings. It says statue made of gold, not coal. There's T. Big order. A lot going on. Waikato.
He's a good man, Big T. See him regularly around Davies Park as well, still supporting the competition.
On his ride on. Does he get his ride on out there?
I'm not sure if he gets his ride. He's always looking good, though, Big T.
Yeah, he's a wonderful ambassador for the code still. In fact, I was watching some games, Sky have been showing a lot of the older games. And, when he had those flowing locks and tall and skinny.
That was a long time ago.
He's pretty skinny
back
row, wasn't he? When he was running around with Melbourne.
I mean, 2000, when the Māori team went to the World Cup and he was playing over in England, I think at the time. He had Italian leather boots, and, the UK European denim. And, he was a suave man.
Pretty cool. You could get away with one boot now. I
guess 50% off now.
50%
for Big
off.
T. Yep. He only has to buy one shoe.
Shouldn't joke about it.
No, he loves it. He's a good man, Big T.
He is. Great guy. And also want to acknowledge to the passing of Olsen Filipino as well. Since last time we had a chance to commentate, Olsen was a very humble man and a beautiful character. And we've lost him, as we have a number of prominent sports people way too early. Inga, the winger tragic, Oliver Derry, Warren, Marsh. I mean, hell, it's been somewhat sad. As we see this time, Waikato getting close to the line. Here's a big chance for them. They want to cross. Watene has the ball on the right-hand side and then darts in underneath. And Jalen Watene is into the score. Finally, for Waikato. They haven't scored since the 29th minute, and in the 56th minute, he just was eyes up footy, sensed the chance, and dived in low to score the 4-pointer.
Yeah, well, he almost a few minutes ago when he dropped the ball over the line. That was a nice little play there. That actually asked some questions of the Upper Central defensive line, especially those centres in the back rows on the left edge there. He got a good, quick play of the ball. Did Matthews, which means that Jalen Watene could pick that ball out of dummy half and over for their second try. If he goes to with 13 minutes to go, if he can slot this, these 3 tries. I know it's a big ask for this side, especially with how well the Upper Central are playing, but at least it gives them an opportunity.
So Jordan Watson looking to convert his own try, raises the flags. So part of the formula has come good for them. 30 points to 12. Went over to Australia and stayed with his old Zoram up in the Gold Coast, Jordan, when he was 14. And as mentioned, he ended up at Kibra Park High, but has always loved footy back home. They're from the College Old Boys Club, the Watane clan.
A lot of expectations if you're a Watane.
A little bit like that.
In rugby league.
Yeah, there's a bit like that.
A lot of expectations if you're Watane. Obviously, the prolific name in rugby league and it holds a lot of mana. But nuts. I mean,
but he's one of 7 brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
they didn't have any girls, I don't think. 7 bros, and they all play footy.
Yep.
There's a good bunch of dudes. Jordan's my first cousin's young fella. I've been sort of watching him for a whole lot of years at the National Māori tournament too. Looking forward to him playing. I remember him being ball boy. Couldn't get in there, but he's a talented player, and it's great to have him back home again after a number of years the other side of the Tasman. So it's Waikato with the ball, and as mentioned, 3 tries in 10 minutes. Well, it is possible, but it would really detract from what's been a super performance here today by the Central Stallions.
Great tackle.
Great tackle. And it's Bidwa on Watane. Bidwa's tackle technique is exceptional. So downtown we come here, and it's taken here by Raven Fetu. Again from the Forestland Falcons. Takes the ball through. First up on the defensive work is Hawaii Maipiahu. The other of the twins, Jordan Fetu, this time at the halfway line. Halfback goes in as acting half. This guy's been impressive, and he does it once again. Jericho York, loving the way this kid carries. And he's into score, pulls himself up as well. Geez, been good today, hasn't he? Wailangi, Jericho York.
Yeah, he's a big, intimidating winger, and he's coming off his wing to have a run there. A little 2-pass from his 5'8". Just a slight bit of footwork against a much smaller man than Jordan White in it. He just shrugs off the halfback. Big winger. Look at him. Yeah. 105, 110 kilo maybe.
Yeah.
And run too.
And can
good
run.
pace.
Yeah, good to see. I think the Chiefs might have been interested in him also. Part of the 18s last year. As mentioned. From Te Puke, some big ups to our Te Puke viewers here on Sky today. Pleased to see him doing really well. And he's been impressive today. Jericho York. We don't have their stats, height, weight, but having banged into a few big blokes over the years, Wailangi Corp, we can assess their weight from afar.
Yeah, the usually the profiles we get just read bloody big fella.
Yeah. And he is. Do you like big wingers? I mean, some go for pretty lithe and fast, tall.
I like
wingers.
big, fast wingers.
Big, fast ones.
Yeah, I like big, fast wingers. If you're big, if you're big and you're fast.
Yeah, this time the conversion was exceptional.
Yeah,
if you're big and fast, who are some of your favourite wingers over the years?
Oh, look, I know he's come under the spotlight a little bit, but obviously Manu Vasive was probably my favourite winger of all time. Like once again, 120, 125 kilos and can run like the wind. He's scored 10 tries consecutively over 10 years. It's hard to argue with how good Manu was. But are running around and once again just big, tough, fast, a lot of skill. I also had a good conversation with Caleb Clark last week, and obviously from the board, and he's really keen on giving rugby league a crack at some stage. And once again, he's a big, fast winger. But unfortunately, he's a huge Rabbitohs fan, and wants to play for them if he can at some stage.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, it's so sad, the public demise, I guess, of Manu's our favourite. But look, that stuff he was dabbling in has wrecked too many lives, and it had to be taken seriously. And let's hope that some time away will give him a chance to just reflect on the damage that it is doing in our community.
Yes,
and hopefully he comes out, and is able to reinstate his Manu, because it was a big fall from grace for a very popular, good run here. Good run. And the number 9 has had a surging effort. James Austin, hats off. Nippy, well, it's one description of him. Here he comes, this bloke again, Travell, Gardner Hano. Oh, what a star he's proven to be here this afternoon. That's number 3 for him. And now that's starting to reflect poorly on the Waikato squad. But look at the setup for it. As James Austin screamed downfield here. In the end, it was a good defensive effort from Taua Daniela. Have a look here as he positions himself beautifully. Gardner Hano.
Yeah, they were just full of confidence, the Upper Central. That run from James Austin, a little step in and away, got them behind the markers, and he was gone. Took a big effort from Taua Daniela to pull him down, and then just Waikato on the back foot. They were still back when Gardner Hano got that ball, and he just knew what he had to do, run hard as he can, and he would split them 40-12. Get back. There's a miss since half-time.
Yeah, well, he's whacking them over from the corner, and they're up. He might have changed his boots, you reckon?
Yeah.
Great effort.
Definitely changed his tee.
Well, that other one that he was using was Pakaru. So 42 points to 12. Who would have thought that coming into the game? Home game for Waikato. And of course the disjointed preparation for the Upper Central squad. But gee, the combinations have worked here today.
Yeah, plenty to take away for the Waikato side. Individually, they've got some great players. They've really put it together well enough in terms of their attacking sets. And also, they're realistically, just their defensive efforts, especially one-on-ones, are going to need a little bit more improvement as the weeks go on.
I've really been enjoying the footy that we've been seeing here, and the big tough work still going on there. The 17 has the ball taken, but it will be a penalty here for the Stallions. Liberty Brown had the ball dragged from him, but referee Rasmussen says no. Still be with the Stallions. Great to have you along here. You're watching NZRL National Under 20s if you've just joined in. As you can see, it's been a while since it's rained down in Huntly. I'm sure that once it does, the track, which has had a bit of work done to it, actually probably better to play on than it might look on television. Today, a few dry patches, but you can see the green down there. Next time you're down there, I want you to take your key with you, go in and do a pitch report. Why don't you?
Yes, indeed.
I've been impressed by this guy, and that's a nice defensive effort
shot
on him. Dana Bidwar, he's been good, and he gets up with a smile on his face. These guys know each other well. Back it comes to Brown. He's been good. Uruama Mutukohe is in there, but the referee says that it was a little bit unnecessarily heavy. And a bit of a face rub. This guy's had an outstanding game today, Mitchell. On Brown. Comes charging in. Portman Paul makes the tackle. Austin at dummy half. If they've got another try in them, just 3.5 minutes to play, you get the feeling that they have. Back to Gardner Hano. He goes towards the trial up the sideline. Just manages to stay there. The half volley pick up here for Bidwar. Through the hands they come. Kohu Walker. Good play. Coming into Jordan Fetu, who goes across the angle and it turns and straightens up. Well, he's wrapped up by Tuporia Marsh. He's to ground, but there still seems like there's some points in the Stallion squad. Dummy half work from young Hamiora.
Great ball.
And then over the line, is that enough? And the referee looks to go across to his touch judge, and he says, yes, that is enough. And another try here for the Stallions. Brilliant play from them. And it was just a matter of time. Let's have another look.
Yeah, just too big in the end. Just stood in the tackle. It's a nice ball there, yep. Akohu Walker. The ball back on the inside to his fullback. Picks up another one. 46. The kick to come.
Well, they'll be pleased to hear, I guess, Waikato, because they're being steamrolled here at the moment by the Stallions. Amazing how once you can look up at the scoreboard and you just get a shot of self-belief and confidence, and they've just rolled out here real strong in the second half. Up 18-6 with 4 tries to 1 in the first half, and they've gone away with it here with another 5 tries in the second 35 minutes. Some wonderful young talent that we've enjoyed here this afternoon. This guy, Xavier Mitchell-Windsor, has been really good. I've enjoyed the work of John Lee Faulkner, York, the big strapping winger. He's had an outstanding game today, and that one flags also. So as we come up towards full time, not too far away now, just a minute and a half. Let's take our hats off to the coaching staff and the Upper Central Stallions. Rob Taingahui and his connections. And just to want to add our condolences to Phil DeTheory, who Stallions have rated as a wonderful supporter of our code. Phil DeTheory died earlier today and has been a long-time groundsman at Puketi Federal Park in Rotorua. And moi mai e Phil. Haere atu rā, haere ki o tātou tupuna haere. He's from Waikato, Katihine also. And we'll lie that to go whatamara. Moi mai e Phil. And great effort. These guys have played out of their skin. Perhaps that was part of the motivation, as was mentioned by Rob earlier in the game. As we come down to full time, Jericho Yorkman, one of my favourites here. And what about Dana, back rower here? He's just been into everything right from the get-go.
Yes, he is. It's been fantastic. Great effort through the middle. It was a great shot there from the Lolo Pea'alu. And just the penalty, giving away the penalty. They're giving Stallions one last opportunity to post up 50 points in this one. Eugene Davies, you'll be a little bit disappointed with his boys if they give up in this last sort of 10-5 minutes here.
Well, they've only got a few seconds, really, but this guy doesn't take long to score tries. Jericho York. Rewati Brown on the boil. Look at that. See, purposeful, direct, committed. And that's really been the difference here today. The go forward has been solid as. John Lee's Faulkner, he's been terrific also. And there's the hooter. The referee will call it quits. Maybe one last roll of the dice here as the ball is launched, and that one's gone out on the full. So the curtain comes down on what's been a superb performance here today by the Upper Central Waikato Mana on their home ground, unable to go with them. And they've converted Upper Central an 18-6 lead at half-time to take the game out 48 points to 12 in what has been a wonderful effort. Good to have you along here as well on Sky, and some impressive performances there, particularly from Upper Central, but work to be done quite obviously, Wairangi, for Waikato Mana.
Yes, indeed, yeah, but yeah, hats off to Upper Central. They were today, in particular some individuals like Gardner Hunnell who picked up a couple of tries, and Jericho York very impressive on that wing there. But yeah, one thing, the forwards, great work. Dana Boudoir, the captain, just busy around the middle. Obviously, he made a stack of tackles. But Mohi Little, again, one of the back rowers, was fantastic. Picked up a try in the first half as well. So, yeah, they've great foundation for Upper Central to work on going forward throughout this competition. Waikato obviously need a little bit more work. They'll have a look at their defensive patterns over the weekend and really try and knuckle down. But yeah, they've got a little bit of work to do, but they do have talent amongst their squad to be able to do it.
Well, it was a solid effort there in the second half. Just 2 tries scored for Waikato. To Marsh and by Marsh in the 29th, Watson in the 56th minute. But they came thick and fast, didn't they, for Upper Central? 4 tries in that first half, and there were 3 of those tries scored out of the 9 by Gardner Hano. Quite brilliant, and tries in the second half to Mitchell Windsor, to Watson Toto, and York, who's there today, and Raven Fair too, also scoring. But this is a nice touch. Most of these guys know each other and have played against each other in grade footy. Some of them are playing in open age premierships. So those who have benefited from the experience without doubt. But wonderful to see these 2 teams coming together in the show of solidarity and sportsmanship. It's been a trying time for our code, many other codes as well, with the situation. And here from the Waikato captain first up, and that Marky J hit it Waito. We'll go to him now.
Well, tough start to the season and to the first game. They got away with from you in that first half.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a good game. Good to have a good head out against rivalries. Waikato Bay. A lot of us Waikato players played with each other and against each other a few times. But yeah, it was a good run. Good to have a good Waikato team come out new this year. But yeah, it was good.
What was said at half time? Because 18-6 down, trying to get yourself back into the game.
You know, we just tried. We just said do our best. You know, it was our first time playing with each other today. A lot of times we play against each other, so it was a good time to see how we mingle together as a team, as Waikato under 20s. Yeah.
Well, all the best for next week and further on.
Yeah, no, thank you. Cheers.
So he played good, that guy. Mahi J hit it Waito, and Wairangi mentioned that he has worked hard in the local club scene, but it wasn't his day today, as we see all the teams coming together. As Mahaki was mentioning, a lot of these guys have played together in the Waikato Bay squads over the years, so some pretty decent friendships have been established, and at the moment just trying to get a Waikato team, as we see them all working out together and working down together. So let's go and have a listen to Dana Bidd, outstanding skipper, played real strong today for the Upper Central Stallions, and he's sharing some thoughts about the game.
First game of the season, how'd you find that?
Nah, yeah, it was good. It was just good to be back out playing some footy. It's been a while, and yeah, the boys put in some good mahi.
You started really well, got some good mileage out wide.
Yeah, we're a strong pack and got some good outside backs that help us out a lot. So yeah, that was good. Thank you to them.
And then second half, you really ran away with the game. Just too big, too strong, really.
Oh, nah, yeah, just the lungs, I guess.
Yeah.
They were tired, real tired. We just pushed a bit harder. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, bodes well for the rest of the season. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, he's from Pikiao, the Pikiao Warriors down there in Rotorua. A very humble character, and part of the reason he was chosen as the captain. He works hard on the field, doesn't talk it up too much. A bit of a quiet guy, but an all-round good guy.
I mean, your average 18, 19-year-old is fairly quiet anyway. We see both captains, you know. I suppose they're, like you say, after 70 minutes of rugby league, both are a little bit tired, but I'm sure they're happy to get their first game rugby league of the season under the belt.
Well, we were too. Good to be working with you again, Wairangi Kopu, and of course Glenn and Richie will be featuring about a 6-week competition as we see the Huntly Power Stations in the background here of Davies Park. Well, this is what's coming up today on Sky. Of course, the Roosters and the Knights. Everyone in NZ who loves rugby league will be looking forward to the Warriors and the Dragons out of the Sunshine Coast. That's due to kick off just before 7 o'clock tonight. And the Tigers and Storm from Combank Stadium as well later in the evening. So a massive afternoon of rugby league still to come here on Sky Sport, and I hope you've enjoyed today's action. Once again, Upper Central Stallions proving too strong for Waikato Mana, converting an 18-6 lead half-time into a 48-12 result. I hope you enjoyed that. This is coming up, the Warriors and Dragons at the Sunshine Coast Stadium. Looking forward to this one. Again, perhaps more settled in their preparation for 2022 than was the case in the last two seasons. Why? What are you looking forward to most about tonight's game?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, they've got a sort of home base now out of Redcliffe there. And, their own setup, their own place where they stay, and the office is all moved over there now in the mall. So, yeah, it is. There's a lot settled. And there were some really good signs through that first trial that they had against the Melbourne Storm. Some good signs across the board for a lot of those individual players, and it was a bit disappointing that they didn't get their game against the Gold Coast Titans the week after. It obviously it was flood affected, but yeah, looking forward to a good show from these boys, and obviously some of the old heads like Sean Johnson who are returning into the squad. Be just really good to see, what their preparation has been like and how they turn out in this first game.
Thanks, Wairangi. Let's have a look at what's coming up here in the under-20s. We've still got South Island versus Akarana. That's heading your way tomorrow, and it's rolling in for the next few weeks also. It's going to be interesting to see how the Akarana squad, the guys out of the South Island, go also. But here we are in Davies Park in Huntly. That's the view of the old famous coal station behind us. Next weekend, Akarana versus Counties Monaco. That's coming out of Trust Stadium in West Auckland. And on Sunday, the 20th, is the South Island versus this squad, the Upper Central Stallions. That from our Punawai Stadium in Otautahi, Christchurch. So there's plenty to look forward to in the National 20s Reuben Wiki Cup. Hope you've enjoyed the action today. And it's been a privilege to be back broadcasting some rugby league live. Big day of league here on Sky Sport from me, Dale, and Wairangi and the rest of the gang to put together coverage from Davies Park, Huntly, here in the NZRL National Under-20s. It's farewell from good old Te Lahui Pōkeka, and we'll be catching up with you next time around in the National Under-20s. All the best until then. Hei konei la.